If someone asked me what my favorite genre of manhwa was, I'd answer without hesitation high school delinquency. Yeah, I know it's kinda basic, and there's like a million of them, but if we're getting specific, one manhwa towers above the rest of them, and it's Weak Hero. And this isn't just my opinion, this is objectively true. Scientifically proven by me screaming at my phone at 3 AM. And look, I know my channel doesn't usually focus on it, but Weak Hero is hands down my favorite delinquent manhwa period. And honestly, it's easy to see why. Incredible characters, a crazy good story, and a final antagonist that is just chef's kiss. Like many legendary series, it eventually got the Netflix treatment, so heads up, spoilers ahead. Let's start with the good stuff. Weak Hero Class 1 and 2 on Netflix, pretty solid. Season 1 especially was surprisingly strong. The story did diverge a bit from the manhwa, but not in a way that felt out of place. The acting was on point. This show actually introduced me to Park Jihoon, and I've been a fan ever since. This guy makes banger songs too, seriously, check him out. And even the changes made sense, in a way. Season 1 felt like a slow burn, a kind of prologue that built tension for the real storm that's coming. And by the end of it, I was genuinely satisfied. Another thing I'd like to appreciate from both Season 1 and 2 was the absolute cinematography. It was beautiful. The way they used lighting and shadows, the whole composition, you could tell someone really cared about how this world looked, and the world building, nailed it. The schools didn't feel like exaggerated war zones, but they still felt gritty and dangerous and alive. If you've read the manhwa, you know what I mean. Weak Hero's world feels real. Now, talking about Season 2, Park Jihoon still crushing it. The man carried the whole emotional weight of the show like Atlas holding up the sky, back hurting and everything. And that's not a dig at the rest of the cast who played Ben, Gogo, and Eugene. They all did a great job, but Jihoon had this intensity that just hit different. Probably because we've known him and spent more time with him back in Season 1. Where things started slipping though was in the adaptation itself. They trimmed so much of the manhwa. It's like taking a guy's lung out and asking him to run a marathon. Entire arcs, characters, and moments that gave the story depth and hype, they're just gone. A small example was the Shuttle Patch rankings. If you're unfamiliar with it, or you watch the show but haven't read the manhwa, it's an underground site that ranks the top fighters across schools, tracking their strength, info, the works. Imagine Gray or Shion climbing the ranks after each brutal fight. Manhwa readers would be screaming, and even new viewers could get into it. It adds tension, hype, and a real sense of progress. I've definitely seen some comments about this on the Reddit, people saying, oh, it would have felt too childish. But like, dude, they're high schoolers, of course it's gonna be childish. That's what makes it so good. It's a story about growing up, and a part of growing up is caring way too much about dumb stuff. Beautiful, dumb stuff. Speaking of hype, another thing that could have added so much hype to the series was Gray's reputation as Yunjang's White Mamba. In the manhwa, the legend spreads without Gray even knowing. He's just chilling, probably solving some calculus problems, while the entire schools are panicking like oh shit, the White Mamba might show up. And it would have been amazing to see that reputation grow on screen. Those moments where cocky punks underestimate him and instantly regret it, golden.
That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
It turns Gray into this mythic figure, a silent storm, but instead of leaning into that, the show kinda just skipped it, and it's more of just a missed chance, honestly. Still talking about another missed moment, the rooftop fight against Wolf or Sonjae in the show versus Gray Yeon or Shion. In the manhwa, this fight wasn't just intense, it was personal. Gray had a deep-seated fear of rooftops for reasons that you should read the manhwa for, so beating Wolf up there was him conquering more than just an opponent. It was him facing his trauma head on and overcoming it. Now, credit where credit's due. In the Netflix version, they actually set up Gray's rooftop trauma earlier, but did it inside of an MMA gym. So honestly, they could have still delivered that same emotional payoff, replacing the rooftop fight, putting Wolf in the gym, and keeping the symbolism. Boom. It was never really about the location. It was about Gray's not just getting stronger, he's healing, and man, that moment could have hit so hard. And don't even get me started on my GOAT Gerard Jin. Gerard wasn't just some background dude, he had his own arc, his own struggles, and his own vibe. And he completed the dynamic of the main group. Instead, they just mashed his taekwondo skills into Gogo, and it just didn't feel the same. I was really hoping for Park Seum-han would get the cast. He would have nailed the role. They had a perfect alley-oop, and they just didn't dunk it. I mean, that being said, don't get me wrong. It's still a really good series, especially if you haven't read the manhwa. You'll probably enjoy it for what it is. The core story holds up, and the world feels lived in, and the characters, they feel like actual teens trying to survive chaos. If you want something grounded, gritty, and emotional with fights that go hard, Weak Hero Class 2 is absolutely worth checking out. Just know, if you have read the manhwa, you might walk away haunted by all the what could have been moments. 8.5 out of 10. With therapy, maybe a 9.5.